Why do we talk about mom guilt like it's unavoidable, but rarely hear dad guilt at all? Is it because mothers care more? Or do fathers care less? Or is there something deeper? Something shaped by culture, expectations, and invisible emotional labor? Stay with me, because once you see what's really happening, you'll never look at parental stress the same way again. Mom guilt is everywhere. Moms feel guilty for working too much, working too little, being tired, wanting space, choosing themselves, not choosing themselves. But dad guilt? It exists, but it's quieter, unnamed, and often dismissed. And that difference matters, because guilt isn't just an emotion. It's something society assigns. Why is mom guilt so heavy? Research shows that mothers still carry the primary emotional load of parenting, regardless of whether they work full-time or stay home. Not just tasks, but mental load. That includes remembering appointments, tracking emotional changes, anticipating problems, feeling responsible for outcomes. So when something goes wrong, mothers are more likely to ask, "What did I do wrong?" This isn't biology. It's conditioning. For generations, motherhood has been tied to moral worth. A good mother isn't just present. She's self-sacrificing, endlessly patient, emotionally available, and resilient. Most of the time, these standards are hard to keep up with. So when in real life she doesn't meet these standards, she begins to feel the guilt as a failure. Why is dad guilt different? Fathers do experience guilt, but it shows up differently. Dads are more likely to feel guilty about financial provision, time away from home, missing big moments. Here's the key difference. Society rewards dads for involvement, but expects it from moms. A dad who shows up is praised. A mom who shows up is doing her job. So, when fathers fall short, guilt is softened by permission. When mothers fall short, guilt is magnified by judgment. Same love, different pressure. Then why the invisible burden? The real divide isn't who loves more, it's who feels responsible for the outcome. Mothers are often seen and see themselves as the emotional managers of the family. That means, if a child struggles emotionally, mom internalizes it. If a child misbehaves, mom questions herself. If the home feels tense, mom absorbs the blame. Over time, this creates chronic stress, emotional exhaustion, and identity erosion. Not because mothers are weaker, but because they're carrying weight that was never meant to be carried alone. Why this matters today? We're parenting in an era of endless information, constant comparison, social media visibility, conflicting advice. But the emotional scripts haven't changed. Mothers are still expected to feel everything. Fathers are still expected to stay strong, and both suffer, just in different ways. Real progress doesn't start with doing the same tasks. It starts with sharing emotional responsibility, reducing guilt for both parents. This isn't about eliminating guilt entirely. Some guilt signals care, but toxic guilt needs boundaries. Advice for mothers: you're not failing because you're human who also needs support. Your child's struggles are not a verdict on your worth. You're allowed to rest without apology. Advice for fathers: emotional presence matters as much as provision. Please be emotionally present for the family. Naming guilt doesn't make you weak, it makes you available. Your children benefit when you share emotional ownership. For families, guilt shrinks when responsibility is shared. Children thrive when parents model self-compassion. In closing, here's what matters most. Don't let society define your worth as a parent. Don't let outdated roles decide who carries the weight and who stays silent. Parenting was never meant to be a solo performance. It was meant to be co-parenting, stepping in when the other is tired, holding steady when the other feels overwhelmed, offering grace when one of you is temporarily weak. There will be seasons when one carries more. That's not failure. That's partnership. So don't give up on each other. Stay present. Stay kind. Stay united. Because when parents support one another, children don't just survive, they feel safe, they feel seen, and they feel deeply loved. If this video speaks to you, like and share to any parent that is emotionally overwhelmed, And don't forget to subscribe to Family 360.